to me, the feel of this bike was a guy like a high roller from like 1979, 1980, who pulls up to the bowling alley with the tight pants and the fucking ostrich boots, you know what I mean, with the fucking cowboy shirt on.
I feel like I've seen this bike in that magazine. So like literally,
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I mean,
creases in the pants, super
yeah,
sharp creases, you know.
We're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah.
All right, bike number 3. We're here again at the Born Free pre-setup day, just for the builders, private party deal, whatever. I'm here with my good buddy Dave Polgreen,
What's up?
also from Long Beach, and well, you know, lives in whatever. Anyway, Dave's built a million cool bikes. Man, what else to say? Like, Dave and I hang out all the time. We're swap meet buddies. We go all over the place, country all over together, whatever. Dave built this. I honestly, I was at his shop like a day and a half ago, and they were like sanding the frame. So I don't even really understand, but kind of that's Dave's new MO, is like to be here less than 1 minute before the deadline of the show, and he pulls up, and then he usually wins some crazy award.
I don't know anything about anything.
You know, it's like kind of adds to the suspense, I guess, or whatever. But anyway, probably one of my favorite bikes here, dude. I mean, you know, I'm a sucker for black and gold.
It's the best color. Besides purple.
Yeah, if you had purple, you might
game over.
You might shut them down. So, tell me a little bit about all the. We're gonna go through the whole thing, but tell me a little bit about what you did. Let me start by saying, I bought this frame, this actual frame, for Dave in Florida, like 5 or 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
At least. And it's been kicking around in his shop, and finally, like, it's a motor shop. It's a real motor shop frame. Super cool. Like, this detail on the frame, it's like unmistakable.
Yep.
If you look back at my black bike that is in the other video, absolutely same line on purpose with the oil tank, did the same thing.
Yep.
It's like a must. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So what year is it? Just let's break it down.
Okay, it's a 1947 Harley Davidson Knucklehead motor.
EL, FL?
It's FL.
Well, okay.
But it's got Ringo's Chop Shop cylinders, which are big bore.
Yep.
So 3 5/8 bore. So stock stroke big bore. So it's 84 inch.
Yep. Okay.
And SNSL carb on it. I just wanted like a mild performance motor, basically.
Yep. Late 70s era.
Exactly. Like I wanted a dude. To me, the feel of this bike was a guy like a high roller from like 1979, 1980, who pulls up to the bowling alley with the tight pants and the fucking ostrich boots, you know what I mean, with the fucking cowboy shirt on.
I feel like I've seen this bike in that magazine. So like literally,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I mean,
creases in the pants, super sharp creases.
We're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah. So
yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, so that was kind of the vibe. Feel of the bike that I wanted. But yeah, motor shop frame, original one that Oliver found for me in Florida. It was like raked and stretched, and my friend Jeff Layton helped me de-rake it and bring it back to stock dimensions, stock for motor shop anyway.
Yep.
And yeah, there's just, a lot of custom stuff on this. I mean, I try not to make it a parts bike. You know what I mean by parts bike.
Yep.
I don't like parts bikes if I can help it. The only real parts aspect to it is the wheels, really. They're Super Spoke. They're made by Super Spoke back in the late 70s. They're called Gold Diggers.
Gold Diggers,
yeah. Super Spoke. They made lowrider wheels, all kinds of shit, but they're a relatively rare wheel, hard to find. And I just wanted it to be like a tough stance, but like a little bit flashy.
Small still.
Small, exactly. Yep. Like the motor shop frames are 2 inches shorter than a stock Harley frame, so the whole frame just in and of itself is tighter.
They look so good.
And I'm a little fucking fat chunk, so when I sit on it, it's like, that's why I kind of made the controls kind of
a little more forward.
Not forward.
You're normally like kind of a high mid guy, but
these are a little bit forward just to make it more comfortable.
Yep.
And the front end is I made the front end basically out of an Indian girder. Yeah, this originally was a complete Indian girder rear leg that was like 10 over, and I basically chopped the rear leg up by splitting it in half using just the legs, and then narrowing a stock Harley front leg and essentially making a Springer out of an Indian girder.
Super cool.
And just the lines of it are so sick, you know, like the taper.
Yep.
It's like my favorite kind of mod that I know you appreciate, where like it's not obvious.
Yeah.
But you can see it, but it's not obvious.
Yes.
Those are the best kind,
Yes.
you know. So
draws your eye.
yeah, but it's not like whoa.
Yeah,
you
look
know?
how wacky I am.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, I try to make something tasteful but cool, you know.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of gold plating isn't exactly the most tasteful thing, but I just feel like the vibe of this bike needed that shit.
It's black and gold, dude. I mean,
just a little bit of that flavor, yeah.
Yep.
Brake wise, like I modified a Sportster rear drum to be a front brake. Essentially, I narrowed. My Chopper Dave actually did machine work to narrow the hub for me.
Yep.
And then I narrowed the brake shoes and figured out how to do an adapter for these wheels to run it on the front. And of course, I don't have a brake cable for it yet. I haven't hooked that up, but it's a fully functioning brake in the front there. Yeah, I mean,
Primary setup. What do we got going on here?
so that's an originally Ferris primary cover that I got. It's got to be 12, 13, 14 years ago. It was on my first Knucklehead I ever built, actually. And I've kind of hung on to it ever since I crashed that bike. And essentially, I shaved off the primary tab on it, modified it for mid-control, and I did this modification here. And my buddy Reed came up with this idea. It was not my idea. It was his idea to mill the inside of the inner primary so I could like make that plate.
Yep.
And that's the only way I could get a mid control in that area.
Yes.
Otherwise, there's no way to do a mount. You know,
yeah.
like you have to do like an arm that comes all the way up from the bottom.
Yep.
That I didn't want that look. You know.
No, it's cool, and it's like on my Sweetberry wine bike, I did a same sort of similar setup: cast outer primary, cast tin or a billet tin inner with a gold intermediate spacer.
Yep.
And so my thought was like, it's like, you know, Rolex band.
Yeah.
Like, you know, gold, like platinum gold kind of thing.
Dude, the funniest thing is like I have that same shit. Like the strips on the knuckle top.
Yeah.
Those are gold. Like
Yep.
my ratchet top. If you look at the Paul carrier right here, that's gold.
Yeah.
And you look at the oil pump on the other side, the baffle plate on the oil pump, like
It's
right down
not
here.
just
Like,
dipped
right
in gold.
there.
It's like, it's not dipped in gold, but the gold are like accent highlights.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, as subtle as a bunch of gold plating on a Knucklehead chopper can be.
Of course, but you know, like you're gonna do like the ferrule is gold and the
Yeah.
bolts up here are
But
gold.
not
and,
the whole fucking,
Of course,
you know,
of course,
throttle.
yeah.
So just that little bit of restraint and, you know, contrast is what makes it look good.
The shifter is amazing. Like the color is like so close to this variegated.
I got that from this dude Kenneth from I think he's from Seattle area, Portland.
Yep.
Moto Galore.
Yep.
Really nice guy. I've known Kenneth for years, but anyway, I just liked it because it has a dice, and the name of the bike is called the Gambler. Because again,
Which you are a gambler.
I am a gambler. I do like to gamble, but in my head, like the dude who owned this was like, he goes to the casino with a fucking huge bankroll, you know, and he's there to flex on him and just gamble like a madman. I was like, this is the kind of bike that dude would
Listening
ride.
to the gambler at the card table.
That's right, baby.
No one to hold him and no one to fold him. Kenny
right.
Rogers.
That's right.
Nice.
That's
Yeah, I mean, I really dig like the round details in the wheels, obviously, and then like
Thank you.
the I mean the wheels they speak for themselves, but I like how you accented this, like whether it was subliminal or not, I don't know, but like it's a loop tail, and then you got this, and it makes this like.
Well, if you want to get deep in the nerdery, like this angle is a direct copy of that angle.
Yes.
Like when I did that bend, I used that as the template.
Yes.
And then the funny thing is that was the initial version I did, and then I didn't like it because like this came and then there's a straight here.
Yes.
Like, you know,
I
it's
remember.
curved here.
I think I called you out on that.
You might have, yeah. Trust me, I knew it, but I'm sure you did call it out, absolutely. But it bugged me. And and Reed actually, he was the one who actually did the bending on this.
Yeah.
Because he's been hanging out in my shop, and he's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna fix that for you. So I came back to my shop one day and like he'd rebent it, and he did a killer job on it. So I didn't do the rebend. I did the initial bending of it, but he did the rebend and did an awesome job. So he was super helpful, helping me get this bike done over the course
No,
of
I feel like he's been living over there with you.
I mean, he hangs out at my shop all the time anyway, but he's an awesome dude. Yeah, very, very helpful. Awesome guy. So
yeah, I mean, dude, everything. The oil tanks, the split radius oil tanks is like super cool. In this
had to do that too because like the way that the Motorshop frames curve here, there's a very narrow gap to be able to fit an oil tank. And so the main way people deal with it is they put a barrel oil tank in there, which is totally fine. Like it can look cool, but it's like kind of a basic way to go about it. Not in a bad way, but just not what I wanted to do. So I had to do split tanks because that's the only way you can get a custom shaped tank that can go on both sides.
Utilize
so you can
space.
see it, you know, underneath. a split set of tanks. You know, that's a breather, so that there's a vent way for the oil to vent over to the other side. There's a crossover on the underside too that I have in there. Sean Donahue actually helped me with all the lines there to do that shit. But I made the oil tanks myself. It took forever. I did a horrible job, but Bondo never hurt nobody.
Hey.
Not if you don't tell anyone.
There are no secrets here. Yeah, no secrets. So. But yeah, no, I'm stoked on how it turned out.
Nice.
My buddy Jordan Dickinson did the seat.
Yep.
Union Speed and Style in Minnesota. He's incredible. Really nice job. I think this is the third seat he's done for me.
Yep.
So he's a good
He
dude.
does really good work.
Yeah, he's awesome. So
Yeah,
there's still a few things I still need to finish up on it, but it's close to done. I'm very happy with it. It needs spark plug
Little
wires.
skull caps on the.
I wanted to do dice, but
They wouldn't fit.
Dude, they wouldn't fit. I didn't want to mill the wheel anymore.
But
so.
the skulls are
Little something.
Yeah, a little something in there, a little Easter egg in there.
Little detail, yeah.
Yep.
You know how it
I
is.
love it, man. Well,
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
I like
Thank
People
you very
were
much.
always betting against you, as they like to do.
Really? Were they?
Well, I mean, after last year, you were.
Not last year,
Or
2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Hey. I pulled in. I gave Mike Davis the Matumbo finger wave as I drove in.
I know.
I was like, no. I made it, dude.
They had a large sum of money, actual bet,
$20,000.
$20,000 bet. That
I wouldn't make
that
it
he
in
wouldn't
time.
make it, and he did make it literally like down to the minute that
It was
he had
like
to
5 minutes.
5 minutes before. I think it's sort of like serendipitous that now this next bike of yours is called the Gambler, because
That's right.
that's a hell of a wager, dude. And hey, Dave ended up winning Best in Show that year. I mean, shoot. Yeah,
Got lucky.
I didn't want to say lucky. That bike was sweet.
I got lucky. So
But yeah, anyway, awesome. Good job again.
thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
You know,
Thank you, homie.
love ya.
Pleasure. Love you
See
too.
ya.
Thank you. Peace.